Nobody stays on the highway. You're an idiot if you stay on the highway. Let me think. I was about probably 19 and I had just got a turbo Eclipse all-wheel drive. It had motor swap, upgraded turbo. The car was about 400 horsepower, and that's a lot for somebody who's 19 years old. It said 160 on the dash, so I wanted to see if it did it. And everybody knows around here, there's a certain road up in Buford that is kind of like our mini Autobahn. So I'm going out one day, I'm leaving high school, and I had a girl with me. So that was the time to really show her what this thing had. So I get out there, going on north, go up, loop around. She had no idea what we were about to do. I said, "Do you want to go fast?" That's what I said too. I said, just like this, like, "Do you want to go fast?" And she's like, "Absolutely." I hammered down on it, and a 3,200 pound car with 400 horsepower is not crazy fast, but it's quick. For a 19-year-old kid and a girl that's probably never been in anything fast in the Civic, we get going. And sure enough, I'm at about 140, I think it's like 142, 145. I don't really watch the speedometer when I'm driving fast. I don't think anybody does. I'm going underneath the bridge, Hamilton Mill, and I realized that there was a GSP car sitting right there. She's the one that saw the cop, not me. So she's like, "Cop." It's literally, how much time do you have? Like, you go like, "Yo." And she's like, "Cop." And I was just like, "Oh God." So we're going, and she's like, "Are you not going to pull over?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not. Look at how fast we're going. We're going 140 miles an hour. Absolutely not." So she's like, "Okay." Like, honestly, I was kind of expecting her to freak out, and she didn't freak out, but I think that she liked the part of being bad. Every young girl wants to be bad a little bit, and she was being bad without it being in her control. So she's like, "Oh, well, I'm not driving, so I guess I can just sit here, right?" And it was fantastic, man. And I saw him pull out. I freaked out. This is the moment where you're going so fast that there's nothing you can do about it. He could clock you at 100 or 140, doesn't matter, okay? So I'm guessing he probably clocked me about 140, 145. And I passed him in the gas. I don't need to let out, clearly. There's nobody in front of me, so I'm just gonna go for it, Sure enough, he pulled out. I don't know how in the hell he caught up to me. But I slowed down to about 100. I didn't want to go 140 the entire time. I slowed down to about 110, 120. And I'm just cruising at that speed, just trying to get to the next exit to think of my next strategy. I'm like, okay, what am I doing? And to the point of where when I passed him, I felt like I couldn't breathe for a second. I was like, that's that moment where you're like, "Oh, I screwed up now, man." I see him pull. I'm just watching you're driving like this, watching your rearview mirror, and he's like, "Damn it, he pulled out." So he pulled out and he chased me down. He had a Charger at the time. I think that there was either a dump truck or it was a big rock truck, one of those big metal trucks, 18-wheelers, and he was merging on. I saw the guy coming up on me. He had to have been doing at least 100 or something. And I saw him coming up on me, and we were merging on 85, over in like the Swanee area. And we get up, and there's this truck that merged over because coming off of the interstate, there's only 2 lanes. So I'm in this lane. I go around somebody because they're going slow, and a truck merges over, and the cop couldn't get up to me because there's only 2 lanes at that point. And got off of the next exit, and then I get off, I go right, and he's not stupid. He knows you're gonna get off the next exit. Nobody stays on the highway. You're an idiot if you stay on the highway. You always get off and you go wherever you're gonna go. Get off, and I remember at this time it was dusk. It was not full dark yet. And get off, and I know there was a QT over there. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go hide over here real quick. And I went right because obviously going left was a stoplight. So I went right, and as soon as I turned right, I was like, that's the point of where you don't care if there's any other cops around. You're just like, wah, just getting to where you need to get to sit. So you're like, okay. So I get there, we get to QT. I park behind the building, and then we just immediately turn the car off, walk inside, and we're just getting a drink and whatnot. See him pull in the QT. No idea how he knew where we were at. Pulled in the QT. Luckily, he did not pull behind the building because I parked in the back. And I know that you never usually go in the back because that one is the only QT you can really drive around it. Parked in the back, he comes in, and we're like just looking out the window, like I'm standing in line getting my apple juice. She's getting like a water. It was almost exciting for her when we got to the gas station. When we got to the car, we're like hiding from the cop in the gas station, pretending to get drinks. She was just like, the whole jittery, like excited thing. So, and we're just sitting there. I was like, "Oh God, go away. And he ends up sitting in the parking lot. Okay, so what we do is we pull I pull my car around the other side of the building because he's sitting on the, if you're looking at the store, he's sitting on the right side, I'm on the left side. So I pull around to the left side and I wait for him to go out because he's still in his car, and I noticed that he's starting to creep out to get back on the road. So I was like, okay, well, let me go through this little parking lot and go over here. I don't know how, but he turned right again, and he must have glimpsed my tail of my car going out right there. Flips his lights on, comes after me, jump back on the road, go down, do a U-turn, come back up, jump on 85 again, go back north, get off on the next exit, go over by the mall, and I think by that point he was completely gone. I didn't see him. After I got on 85, there was nobody that I could see on the highway, and I didn't look at my speed. I just went as fast as I could possibly get to the next exit. I got off, I parked, I went over to the Mall of Georgia, parked by a huge truck, and then walked inside. And then at that point, I never saw him again. So it's one of those things where it's just like, you don't see the car and you're like freaking out. It's like, well, he might find me, but still, he never found me. So I was pretty happy with that, So it was wild. It was definitely one of the most wildest experiences of my entire life. I never thought that I would ever run from the police because I'm a pretty good person. But in that instance where you're doing 140 miles an hour, you're screwed anyways. And everybody's always like, listen, if you're going over 120 miles an hour and you pass a cop, you stay in that gas. But it's just, I'll never forget the feeling when even if you're doing 90 and you pass a cop, there's a feeling that everybody gets like right in here, and you're just like you almost lose your breath for a second, and it gets really tight, and then you're just like, all right, just screw it, go with it. So that's what I did. I went with it, and it was wild. It was very exhilarating because I got in the mall and I was just like, had the jitters and the shakes, but it was very exciting. I don't recommend it to do to anybody, but I think that she really enjoyed it, which is, I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, how do I take that? So,